Off to their best start since the 1997 season, the Butler volleyball team is one of the top teams in the Horizon League. The team is coming off a weekend sweep of Youngstown State and Cleveland State, and we are happy to be joined by their coach, Coach Sharon Clark. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
And Coach, I mentioned best start for a season since 1997. What's been the key this year to your team's success?
I think the key for us this year is our chemistry. The girls have really good chemistry. It's a good group, and they work well together and they work hard together.
And when you watch your team play, they're so charismatic. They're just such their camaraderie. They're just so together. What is the team like off the court? That's what I really want to know.
They are a pretty funny group. Everybody kind of has their personalities, but they're pretty comical. They're pranksters, but they're a lot of fun to be around. So it's fun for us, and they keep us going all the time.
Now, your team's relatively young, just 3 seniors on the whole squad, but there's one senior who you count on, point in, point out, setter's Dana DePrilli. How important is she, her leadership to your team's success? How important is that?
She's just critical for us. She's, having a great year. It's the best year she's had since she's been here, and we're excited for her. But, she does a great job leading, and it shows in our play and in the win-loss column.
And even though they're only sophomores, Kelsey Labrum and Jessica Wolf are looked oftentimes to get those key side outs. In fact, 1 and 2 in kills per set for your team. How important are they, and how have you seen them progress being so young this season?
Yeah, I think definitely for Kelsey and Jessie, they bring a higher level of intensity to us and a maturity that sophomore players, younger players tend to not have. So that's helped us a lot. But we rely on them, and they've taken it on their shoulders, and they shoulder the responsibility pretty well.
And blocking has been such an important element. We just talked about Jaleesa Lee, and unfortunately she's had some knee injuries so far just recently for your team. But it's been such a key. What do you kind of talk about in practice? And is blocking more instinctive, or is it more preparation of watching game film and all those things that go into it week to week?
Blocking is very instinctive, or great blocking is very instinctive. But training at blocking is very technical, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and we spent a lot of time in the preseason on it. And I think that that's paying off for us a little bit. But when we're recruiting kids, we're really looking for those instincts that make them become good blockers. And then with Karen's technical expertise, training our blockers, our middle blockers in particular, it all kind of comes together. And it's our benchmark for us, for this team, and for our program. Blocking has always been a big deal for us, so we like it.
I think top to bottom, the Horizon League is just so competitive this year. Have you seen the league increasingly more competitive each year with each other and also with other major conferences in volleyball?
Yeah, definitely. Over my last 8 to 9 years, it has just steadily gotten better. There are 32, 34 Division I conferences in volleyball, and the Horizon League is right around 11 or 12, and that's pretty high. So the competition is tough, night in and night out, but that makes the excitement more dramatic, and it's a lot of fun because a lot of our kids are playing against kids that they've been playing against on high-level club teams for a long time, or with sometimes. So.
In that non-conference season, what do you really focus on with your team to get them ready for teams that know your team better just because they play each other more?
Non-conference, we're really looking for a mix. We're looking for a high-level competition, but we're looking for teams that run different types of offenses and stack up differently with us so we can train to be prepared for different things. And our preseason this year was good for us. We played a lot of teams from across the country, and we saw a lot of different things that we had to make adjustments to quickly, and I think that's helped us in conference so far.
We saw this past weekend, Friday, Youngstown State, Saturday, Cleveland State. Your team doesn't have that luxury to have that day off between games that a lot of other athletic clubs get to have.
Right.
How hard physically is that on your team?
It's brutal. It's pretty heavy duty on their bodies. It wears them down, and we have to be really careful about what we're doing midweek and early in the week in practice preparation, because playing a full match for 2.5 hours sometimes, turn around playing less than 24 hours later again. It can wear them down, and on Sundays I know they're just drained, laying around. So it's the nature of the sport, but it's heavy impact on the joints because of all the jumping that we do in the sport.
Let's move on to this weekend. Loyola on Saturday,
yeah.
And then on Sunday you have UIC, the Flames, coming in. What is going to be the key for each match to get a W?
We know that where our strengths are, we have to continue in those areas and always have that with us. But our key is really exploiting their weaknesses and really working to take them out of system, particularly on serve receive with Loyola and UIC, to shut their offense down. So we spend a lot of time working on serving and our blocks, so we can really focus on taking them out of system, getting them out of rhythm, so that they're playing at our pace and not playing within their comfort zone.
Okay, we're doing something kind of fun here. Past on the Bulldog Blitz, we've called it penalty shots as we've talked to Terry St. John and Coach Kelly Finley. But with you, we're going to call it quick hits.
Okay.
So keep you on your toes a little bit, not a lot of reaction time to these quick hits. First question, who has the best vertical on the team?
Melody Austin. She's touched about 10-4.
Wow. On a scale 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how competitive are the DePrilly sisters with one another?
They are extremely competitive, extremely. They are feisty. They fight it out in practice in a good way, but they are unbelievably competitive. And I would definitely have to give Dana the nod.
10? 10? Or, I mean,
I'd give Dana a 10 and Katie a 10.5.
Loudest cheer on the team?
Oh my goodness. Loudest cheer. That would be Chloe Blassingame.
I could see that.
Yeah, loudest cheer, loudest mouth.
Okay, very close to the 2-year anniversary when you earned your 100th win at Butler. That was back on October 7th last year. What word could you say to describe that moment?
You know, just pride. I was just very proud of all the players who have played for me and sweated and worked so hard. And, you know, I really just thought about them in that moment and how lucky I am to have been in a position to coach a lot of different young ladies.
Okay, and last question for you. Team goal for the rest of the season?
Our team goal is to win the regular season and win the tournament conference, and I believe that this team can do it.
Well, good job on those quick hits. You can watch the team play this Saturday against Loyola and then on Sunday against UIC. Stay right here on the Bulldog Blitz. Quick question for you Blitz fans. How many of you know where Malawi is? Well, if you don't, then don't feel bad. It's only a country in southern Africa about 10,000 square miles larger than Indiana. But one Bulldog is quite familiar with that country. She calls it home. Our own Chris Scroggin has that story.
Being a varsity athlete at Butler is never easy. Weighing your commitments to your sport against academics is always a challenge. So sometimes it's nice to take a break at home. Now imagine your home is over 10,000 miles away. Helen Momo Wilson is a junior here at Butler, and she hails from the African country of Malawi. She is also a member of the Bulldog swim team as well. With the season getting underway, the women's swim team is getting into the rhythm for competition. With their first meet last Sunday, the Lady Bulldogs prepare for the long haul, ending with the Horizon League Conference meet in February. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Chris Scroggin.
We mentioned it was the volleyball team getting the job done inside, but outside it was the women's soccer team going undefeated on the weekend. On Friday, they took on Xavier in a non-conference matchup. The team got on the board early with a goal by junior Carrie Twyman, her 5th of the season. Later in the second half, junior Molly Kruger added another goal, and that's the way it would finish up. Bulldogs win 2-0. The Lady Bulldogs traveled to Detroit on Sunday to take on the Titans. The team won that one 3-2 and now are 8-5 on the season. The team plays Wright State and Loyola at home this weekend. Looking more into this weekend's home matchups, on Friday, as mentioned, the women's soccer team will play Wright State at 4 p.m. in the Butler Bowl. Then moving on to Saturday, the women's volleyball team will start off the day as they take on Loyola. 100 feet away at 4 p.m. will be the Butler men's soccer team playing nationally ranked UIC at the Butler Bowl. And rounding out the weekend on Sunday, the volleyball team will play UIC and the women's soccer team will play Loyola. That does it for this episode of The Blitz. We're going to take a week off for fall break. Be sure to join us in 2 weeks for our special homecoming episode. Until then, I'm Corey Stark, and this has been the Bulldog Blitz.